Hi everybody, it's Pam with Silver and Sparkles, and we are back today with the Library Card a Week challenge. So it's basically making altered library cards, or if you want to do index cards, whatever, and doing at least one every week. And I'm trying to share some inspiration. So I hope you'll join me. If you do, use that hashtag. You're also welcome to tag me, and hopefully we can find each other's projects. So I've made quite a few so far, and I'm really having fun with it. They're making me very happy. So I've shown a few different techniques. Mine aren't overly complicated, but I am enjoying looking at them as I go, right? So we are going to set this aside and make some today. The inspiration or the prompt, I think I just broke my box. Oh well. The prompt that we're using today is truth, and I wanted to tell you guys a little bit about how I interpret it. There's lots of ways, we can take truth and think about how in our art, creative endeavors, we can think about that. But back in the earlier 2000s, I had the opportunity to participate in Brave Girls Club with Melody Ross, and I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it. She doesn't do that anymore, but she put a whole curriculum together, like for soul healing, those types of things, and her company was Brave Girls Club. But anyway, one of the things that she used in the curriculum were things called truth cards, and there was a time in my life where I made truth cards all the time. I was obsessed, and the concept behind it was, one, we need to always tell ourselves the truth, and we need to believe things that are true, not the things maybe we tell ourselves late at night or whatever. And so one of what she taught and her team taught was the idea of course, using art, and she would show you all different techniques and things, but give you prompts to help you if you couldn't think of your own. And so you would get like these pages of truths, and you could do Dear Pam and then write the truth, or cut it out and glue it down, right? That makes it super easy. Or you could do, like I did on this one, Dear Wondering Girl, right? What if that lovely dream is possible? So that one is, I think, giving you the idea to question it, right? But like this one, Dear Pam, your life is meant to be something more beautiful than you could dream. So that's the truth, right? And that's to help me remember. This one I did a little differently. I made a pocket and I put, Dear Pam, you are not alone on this journey. And I am fortunate in my life to have many dear friends, but I have two from I have quite a few from my college days. We're very close, but two from my college days. It was kind of the three of us for many years. And so whenever there's like threes of girls and things, it always makes me think of Heather and Jennifer. So and I know I'm not alone on this journey, but sometimes you feel that way, right? Sometimes you're having a bad day, or you just feel like there's nobody there. So those are the ones that I made in preparation and kind of getting my head together. Now, the truths are not something that I, that I came up with. And I don't know anymore about the legal thing about reproducing them. So I'm not going to reproduce them. I am going to tell you, though, if you go online and Google or go on Pinterest and you put in something like Brave Girls Club truth cards, so many examples and samples come up. You can still find where people have them posted, things you can print, you can just read them. And so I'm not offering that because I don't feel like it's my product, but I know even back then Melody was really into, yes, share this idea with people, and not her curriculum, not all of that, but the idea of truths and speaking the truth to yourself. So anyway, that's what I'm going to be making today. Now you could take this prompt truth and you could go in a completely different direction, and that's okay too. So it's up to you. I always enjoyed when I made mine, having images of things that speak to me. I did a lot with birds. the idea of, you know, the bird singing that song to me when I would have trouble remembering it, and the truth. So today I am using some really cute images. I'm using scraps that I have kind of on my desk and things, but I'm also using, in fact, I even found a digital that I had printed and never used. So I grabbed, and I had even cut part of it apart. There you go. So I have those, but then I also have these images. These are from Tina at the Digital Collage Club, the Making and Creating site, because I loved these retro children, and a lot of the little girls and the flowers and things, I think are going to really be nice for my truth cards. But again, you can use whatever paper makes you happy and speaks to you, right? I printed, these are journal pages. I printed 2 per page, and then I printed some of the ephemera just at a smaller percentage so that they would be, aren't these cute? They're like the little spools to put your ribbon or lace on. But I thought they would be great for the size I'm playing with today. So we'll use some of those. And, but you know, if you like, again, just there's a color you like. If you like sunsets, if you like, you could get a magazine out and cut that up with images that make you happy, right? One of the things Melody talked a lot about, let me get some cards out, that Melody talked a lot about was the idea of remembering, you know, the child that you were, the little girl that you were, and all the great things that were meant for her, right? And how would you treat her? And you should treat yourself just as, you know, kindly and with that much grace. So I am going to, and if you want to join me, work on, you know, telling ourselves the truth, right? And then the other thing that I did with mine, and I made them different sizes. Some were larger, some were really teeny tiny. These, of course, are the library cards, but I would hide them all over my house. And I'm going to go ahead and date this one. And I would, put them down in my bags. I'd leave them in my car. And then sometimes I would leave them for other women to find. I wouldn't have Dear Pam on them if I did that, but just leave them in different places for somebody to find and hopefully inspire them. So I think I want to do another one with a little pocket on it because these are just so cute. And I had reddish blonde, like a strawberry blonde curly hair when I was a little girl. And then it got much, much redder as I got older. And of course now it is silver and sparkly. So, but this little girl with the curly hair could be me maybe when I was a little one. So I am going to use this and do a little paper piercing, and then we'll pick a truth and do all of that. So really easy. Again, if you don't have a pocket but you want to make one, you know, just cut a square or rectangle, turn it into a pocket. It will work great. Maybe, no, maybe some of these flowers. I just need some strips. I'm gonna sacrifice this little envelope that at some point I had cut out. I like that little bit of green there. Okay, and this one, because I'm putting the pocket, we'll put the truth inside. Let's see. Whoops. There goes the garage door. I don't know if you guys can hear that. That means my husband is back. He's running a few errands. All right, and I'm okay covering up part of the library card stuff. Sometimes I like to see it. Sometimes I just want to use it as my backdrop. And I'm going to put that there. I'm going to put these here. Let's get a little ink. And we'll just have a pretty scrappy little library card. And see what we think here. Pretty. Maybe I will, that kind of looks like a tab if I do it that way. So I'm going to do that. Let's glue the pocket down first and then put that over the top, and it won't interfere with my pocket. Okay. There we go. So she looks kind of sassy. Of course, doing it here, it's whatever I put in the pocket may end up covering up my date, but that's okay. It's still there. It's still there. Da-da-da-da. Okay, now I want to pick out maybe one of these because they fit nicely in here. I don't know what truth I'm going to pick yet, but let's do this one. I had a big brother, so I'm going to go with, this is my big brother. His name's Joe. And you know what's fun is today, while I'm making this video, is my cousin Jason. I have a cousin named Jason. Happy birthday, Jason. Today's his birthday. So, and actually Jennifer, who I just mentioned is one of my longtime 35-ish years or more best friend, she just had a birthday too. So it's birthday week. Let's see. I want to back this with something and then write the truth on a piece of neutral paper. So let's just glue it down because I want to put a ribbon and this will make it just a little sturdier. So when I pull it in and out, I don't have to worry as much about it tearing. Sound like a good plan, everybody? So if you like this idea and you're enjoying the weekly library card, please let me know. I would love a comment on the video. I appreciate all the thumbs up as well. That lets me and YouTube know you like what I'm doing. And if you haven't already, I hope you'll subscribe because we have a lot of fun and would love for you to be along with us. And if you're one of my returning viewers, thank you. You guys are very supportive and just nice people, and I appreciate it. Okay, I am going to, because my brain, I'm just going to pick a truth. Oh, I love this one. I may have to use this one next. Look at this. I think this is great for us in this fun YouTube community, Instagram community, all of that. Find your tribe and then believe them when they tell you what a star you are. We have to believe in ourselves, right? So let's see. How about this? There's enough for everyone. This is so true. And sometimes we need to remember that. We don't have to, worry about what everybody else has or doesn't have. There's enough for everyone. So, and I will do something to the front too, but I'm going to say, Dear Pam, there is enough for everyone. That is true. That is true. Abundance mentality, right? Okay, little ink. I'm going to glue it on my little card I made. So sweet. And then we'll see about the front of this little mini card. Very cute. So this is just, again, in my scrap pile, but some ivory paper that I have. You know what? I'm going to just write right on here. We were always, our names were like just clumped together. I don't know if you have a sibling and that was your situation, but Joe and Pam and Joe, right? So I'm going to write Pam. Would help if I could do an M and not an M. An M and not an N, but that's okay. I know it's my name. Pam and Joe. And this is for me, so all of that's good. And then I am going to add a little ribbon or something. Cuteness. And I used this one on here, but I also have this pretty one. Let's see if I can find a little scrap of that as well. Let's see. Here's a piece. I think this one. I am, again, just between my crinkled seam binding ribbon and this sari silk ribbon, I am just like obsessed. I'm having so much fun having more fibers and ribbons to play with lately. And I'm still working through that lovely, maybe I'll pull it out here in a minute if I remember, basket that I got into at the yard sale that has just little smallish pieces of a bunch of vintage ribbon and things. I think this one I'm just gonna tie on. Now, cutting the silk like I did into these tiny strips, it does have a I want a fray kind of effect, but it doesn't bother me. Okay, yeah, that's cute. And you can still see the date. All right, so there's one. How cute is that? Love it. Oh, you know, and I did on here, I wrote truth. I think I'm going to put truth right here. And I could do it on a little piece of paper and glue it down, but it's right here. So I'm just reminding myself, truth. That's what we're working on. Okay, that's very cute. And let's do another one just because we can, maybe two. All right, what did I say I wanted to remember? I know the ribbon. There was something else. I don't know. I'm not sure. Sometimes I tell you guys, oh yeah, we'll do that. And then zap, right out of my head. Who knows, right? Oh, it's this one about your tribe. That's what I want to do. Here, so I'll show you what it'll look like. When we were at Brave Girls Camp, there were pages and pages and pages of truths, and they also printed out a piece of paper, like multiples that just said Dear Pam, and so I could just cut them out and we could talk and laugh, and we used a lot of Mod Podge. Lots of fun things. These I found on somebody's blog, and there was a opportunity, I never did it, but like to become certified to teach the Brave Girl curriculum, and I think the people that still have this out there probably paid for that certification, and that might be why it's still out there. I'm not sure. How about we're gonna use the Dear Creative Girl, and then we'll do this. And I like it just cutting them out too. And of course you can always type your own up, or again, do like I'm doing and handwrite a bunch of them because I like to handwrite. But we'll use that. Let's see, what's this gonna fit? I hope I don't have to cut this up a whole bunch. Yes, it will fit. Okay, so now maybe I can find an image that has multiple children or girls. Okay, there's that one. That's two. I kind of wanted more than just two. This one's kind of cute as well. Why don't we do this one? This one is speaking to me. Now, I am going to be brave. I'm a brave girl. And I am going to do the finger tear and get these little children out of here. So, and then I'll have some of these scraps if I want to use them to layer. All right, so the finger tear. So I know she doesn't watch that often, but one of my friends is more than just an online friend, because I met her at Brave Girls Camp, but she follows me and shops in my Etsy shop occasionally and all of that. But anyway, her name's Kathleen. So Kathleen, if you're watching, I hope you're enjoying this little walk down memory lane with the Brave Girl stuff. Okay. And if you happen to have been into that and knew about it, let me know that too, because I know there are a lot of people that really enjoyed that. All right, so I may have to kind of bring it up like this, but I kind of want some color and things there as well. I better wait to do the date till I see how I layer it. So we may lose some of the library card on this one, but we have the back too. And that's the other thing. I could do this on this side. I don't know, I kind of like it on this side. There we go. And then I could bring it up. This needs ink. We'll try a couple of different ways. If I did like that, we could still probably get the date in there. And then this here, and we could do Dear Creative Girl, something like that. Okay. And I do like inking, even though I've cut these out, to just, you know, get it a little bit less bright white. I realized right before I started filming, I texted my son, and then I'm like, oh, I'm going to film a video. And I think he's been trying to text me back, but it's okay. I will respond to him in a few minutes when we're done. They know I'm a little crazy like that. All right, let's get the date on here. Happy birthday, Jason. Okay. And we'll get this glued down. Really don't need much glue to hold it in place. And here we go. And if you want, of course, when you're doing yours, you could do both sides. I'm leaving mine in case I want to, at some point, write something on there. That's kind of fun because that's where I tore it. So I kind of like that. All right, we're gonna put this right at the bottom. If I can get some glue on there. And then the Dear Creative Girl. And I could have done Dear Pam, but we're just gonna do that. And see, it gives it a different look. But I mean, that's a way, you know, you can just sit and use it as more of an art therapy kind of idea and just have a lot of fun. Let's put a ribbon on this one. So here, this is that basket that I was talking about. I've actually added a couple of things to it. When I was at the RVA scrap place, they had this really old seam binding. That color actually would be pretty. And then a piece of elastic is on here too. For $1. So, you know, I had to bring it home and put it in my stash. I just had to, didn't I? We could be really crazy and add some bling. Let's see. Lace. There's just, it's going to take me a long time to use all of this, but I love it. It makes me happy. I have shared a few pieces. Isn't that pretty? It's too big. In some of my, there was extra. I think I'm going to see what this looks like. In some of my vintage kits that I've been selling on Etsy. Look at this. This was $1.50 at the RVA scrap. This is not for this project, but how beautiful. I don't know if I'm going to have time to get another Christmas in July project in, but this red and green is perfect for Christmas. And then that lace. Ugh, love it. Okay, just wanted to show you guys. Let's see. Look at that really old pin. Put it in my pin cushion. It has a nice feel to it. Let's just cut a piece and see if we like it on there. It's definitely had a long life. Not always on this card. Somebody took the time to wrap it on here probably many years ago, and there it sat. It's a little bit, I mean, it's not bright, but I like it. It's very, I don't know what it looks like on your screen, but it's very close to the color in this little splash here. Okay. And I'm going to put that old push pin right back in here so it doesn't get all tangled up. All right. I am really, really good at making a mess, aren't I? I said I could use these for another piece. Let's try one more. And I was thinking it might be fun to just lay some of these down. We'll see. We will see. So I wanted to use one of these. Oh, and that's that same image right there. I could have used that one and had a tiny one. Let's do, here, I'm going to do this one. Jason and I are very close to the same age. I was born in November, and then he was born the following July. And he's my Aunt Susan's son, and he has a sister, Marcy. Anyway, there were 4 grandchildren. For my mom had 1 sister, and then they each had 2 children, and the 4 of us were very close growing up. And so in honor of Jason's birthday, we're going to do this one and let this one be Jason. I don't really like the spool shape, so I'm just going to tear it off. I like it, but not for this. I was like, that just isn't working for me. So, finger tear to the rescue. There we go. Little teeny tiny Pam and Jason. And I'll find a truth that'll maybe work for us. This might be a good piece if I want to put a piece up there. I thought I had more of these little strips than I do. So, I wonder, that would be cute, wouldn't it? Okay, so that's like us playing. We played together a lot. And then, I think I'm going to cut this so that it is straight. One of the things that we did, I don't know if I've ever told y'all this story when I've been crafting, but my grandmother and grandfather had a fig tree in their yard, and Jason and I loved the figs, and we would climb up in the tree and eat figs until we were sick. And we would hide. My grandmother would be calling for us. Now, my brother Joe and Marcy was the little one, the youngest, but Marcy, you know, they'd be following directions and being good kids and doing all the things. And then Jason and I were getting into trouble. Jason got in a little more trouble than I did, only because my grandfather was a little harder on the boys than the girls. Actually, he was not hard on the girls at all. He let me get away with just about everything you can imagine. Not that I was terrible. Okay. Let's see. Let me pick a truth that might work for my cousin Jason and I. I'm going to do it anyway. Now, that's the truth about, like, when people tell you, I think, you know, should I do it? Should I not do it? Whatever. I'm going to do it anyway. But that would have been something we definitely would have done. Ask forgiveness, right? Not permission. Okay, I don't know if this is, for me, it's in the spirit, but anyway, that's just funny that that's where my eye went to. Okay. I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to put our names on here. In fact, the title up here, it's going to say Pam and Jason. There we go. That's funny. I'm going to do it anyway. There we go. And one of the big thing in the Brave Girls Club and all that was do it anyway. She did it anyway. So things are hard. She did it anyway. She was tired. She did it anyway. She was sad. She did it anyway. So I'm going to do it anyway. No matter, you know, I'm going to show up. No matter how I'm feeling, I'm going to do it anyway. And I really think that's what that means. And, but it also was a little funny for me as I think about my cousin. I have have not inked this card, and I think I will like it with a little bit of ink, as usual, right? I like ink. Inking is optional, you guys know that. All right. And I could have handwritten it, but we're gonna just plop it on. So I have a little variety going on. And put this lovely right there. Very sweet. Very sweet. And this one could use a little ribbon at the top as well. I'm just in a ribbony kind of mood. And we'll put this one on here. I'm going to leave this one a little bit wider and see if I like it. Okay, I hope you guys will play along. If you do, like I said, use that hashtag weekly library card so we can hopefully find each other's projects. I realize even though I have like on people, I subscribed and I have the bell. Maybe it's just because I get so many notifications like on YouTube and stuff, but if I miss something, it's not intentional. You're welcome to message me or something and say, "Go look, I did a thing," and I will go look. I'm wondering if I want to put this little clock on here. It was speaking to me. Let's see. It's a little, my punch is a little bit large, but let's just see if we like it. No. It's not what I want, but it had jumped out at me. There's that hashtag that I hope you'll use if you play along. Okay. I don't think I even used this hot glue that I plugged in. All right, let me just show you real quick what we've got, and then I'll let you go. So we've got, Dear Creative Girl, find your tribe, and then believe them when they tell you what a star. Did I cut it off? What a star you are? Well, I know what it means. I think I cut it off. I'm going to do it anyway. Pam and Jason. All right, this one. Dear Pam, you are not alone on this journey. Love it. And then this one. Pam and Joe, my brother. Dear Pam, there is enough for everyone. Yep. And then these I had done ahead of time. What if that lovely dream is possible? And this one says, Dear Pam, your life is meant to be something more beautiful than you could dream. Yep, it's a good life. Thanks for joining me. Until next time, have a great day, everyone.